Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new normal.
Welcome to the new normal.
Wow, we are so glad that you joined us today. And wow, don't we have a special guest today?
I think we do.
My Mount Rushmore of inspiration. He is on that Mount Rushmore of inspiration.
I think so.
Yes. So just magnanimous, just an amazing young man. We're so proud of him and all that he's accomplished already.
Right.
And he's only just begun.
And he's how old?
18.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I need to do something with my life.
I think he turned 19. We're gonna have to ask because I think he turned 19.
Either way,
yeah,
I think I need to do something.
It is pretty incredible, isn't it? Yeah. So good. So we're so happy and proud that you have joined us today. Hopefully you are managing this new normal well and you are filled with positivity.
Yeah.
But if there is a situation where things aren't going so well, hopefully this will provide just a little bit of a break for you, a little bit of an outlet during this time. And we do wish you and your family well. So thank you again for joining us. We're so glad that you are here. And you know what? Our buddy Jamil was on with the premiere today.
I know.
Yeah, you saw it?
I saw a little snippet.
I didn't see it. I missed it. Someone else told me.
I was just about to ask you before we went on.
Yeah, shout out to Jamil, so our good buddy there. So good evening, everybody. And we now would like to welcome our very special guest. And I am not going to introduce him completely before because I want to make sure that I got it right. So I have to confirm something with him as we go through. So
oh, really?
Yes. So
okay.
So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and invite him.
Okay.
So
Let's see. Let's find him. You keep chatting.
Will you please welcome our great friend William Leathers?
Yeah, and the crowd goes wild. I'm excited.
Yes.
He's awesome.
All right. Wow.
And there he is.
Good to see you guys. How you doing?
Afro.
Yes. All
It's
right. It's amazing. You and the Afro showed up at the same time. Oh my goodness.
I'm just going to try to turn our volume a little bit.
You got such great presence. Man.
And you have some facial hair, man. William, you're looking good, man.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Normally I'd shave this, but you know.
No, leave it. I like it, my friend. I like
Thanks.
Got me in the same trap. Yes.
Looks better on you than me. I still got to age a couple more years before I can grow a proper beard.
Yes.
You carry it well, my friend. You carry it well.
Thanks.
Yes. So I wanted to pause before I introduce you because I want to make sure that I got a few things right. So one is right early on, you skipped a grade because things weren't as amusing as they should be in the classroom, and things came pretty easy to you, and so you skipped a grade early, and then after grade 10, you actually finished 11 and 12 in the same year.
That's right.
So
Oh, yeah.
so you finished 2 years early,
Yeah.
and that next year you practiced, right?
Yeah.
And your time practicing, and you practice how many hours a day?
Probably like anywhere between 4 and 8, and then a little bit on the trumpet. You know, it's like somewhere around five or six, a little bit more than that. I'll rarely go over that because, like, you know, it's metal on the face all the time. So
Yes. Well, all right. Well, listen. We're not going to unfold everything because we want people to stay here with us and allow it to unfold as it goes. And but I'd like to welcome everybody. My good friend William Leathers.
First of all, how are you doing?
sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
How's mom and dad?
Oh, they're doing great. You know, they're pretty much staying home, just like me. My dad doesn't really have too many gigs right now, and my mom's not really selling houses, so we're pretty much just all here. I'm here practicing, and you know, we're just all pretty much hanging out. My dad's still practicing too, so you know, we're all just trying to get better.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in your house during quarantine. Great music, 4 hours a day.
There you go.
Oh, that would be music to my ears, my friend.
Well, I asked you a question some time ago while out at lunch, and I don't know if you remember how you answered it, right? And it was because you were up for a big audition, and I asked you, do you ever get nervous for the audition? Do you remember what your answer was?
Uh, I probably said something like, you know, I don't really get nervous unless I'm super prepared for it.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So
Yeah,
you said no, and I asked you why, and you say because I practice until I can't get it wrong.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, never forget that. I practice until I can't get it wrong. So not just young people, but adults. You hear that, right? If you want to be great at something, right? You put your time in. It is that effort. You said I practice until I cannot get it wrong. It's a impossibility. I know it as well as I know my own name, and I just thought was the most amazing thing.
Mm, thank you. Appreciate that.
Pretty phenomenal. So, William, what was it like when you were coming up in the house with your dad, and your dad was a great musician, and you were just a little tot, but you had special gifting? And so, what was it like for you to look up to your dad and see him playing these instruments and you wanting to mimic him?
Well, since piano was my first instrument, me playing on the piano and him playing on the trumpet or the cornet, there's a really nice video that I have somewhere with me playing piano and him playing cornet. We're playing on Canada together. And so I think I was about 4 years old at the time. So that was the first time we really played music together, and my mom got it on camera.
Oh, all right. So
Yeah,
4 years old, you're playing "O Canada."
that's right. Yeah.
So you're
It was a
playing.
little bit different back then. I didn't have the same rhythm that I have now, so I was a little bit, but I could play the notes, but that was about it.
Well, we're not expecting anything else. That's quite enough. Yes, yes. So,
I think that's
yes.
that's good.
So you
At
have
the time, my patriotism was in the note accuracy.
yeah. Okay, very good, very good. That comes as you mature, right?
Right.
So you found out that you had a really special talent, and you saw there was a certain way you saw music. How old was that, and can you explain what that is? And
So that's called synesthesia. So one of the types of synesthesia I have is I'm able to see music in color. So what synesthesia is in a whole is scientists believe it's a connection of extra neurons in the brain that create like other senses inside of the brain. So basically, I'm also able to see letters in color. I can like mirror touch. So if someone touches someone else, I can feel it to some degree. Um, and so that's my mom actually discovered it in me when I was I think I might have been 4 or 5 years old. And basically, what happened was so can you guys still hear me?
yes,
Hear you.
yes,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just making sure. So basically, I must have been about 4 or 5 years old. My mom's watching TV, and I'm playing with Legos on the ground right in front of the TV. And so the Olive Garden commercial with the opera singer comes on, and so I look over to the TV, but like sort of at the side of the TV where the speakers are, and I said to my mom, "This very beautiful music," and I said it looks beautiful. That's what I said. And she said it's not looks, it's here. And then I went in the other room and started crying. And so the commercial came on a couple weeks later, and the same thing happened. And so my mom asked me to explain what I was seeing, and so I explained it to her. She did a little bit of internet research, and that's how she discovered I had synesthesia. And she basically told me about it when I could sort of understand it when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I think. So that's basically how I discovered that I had that gift.
That's crazy. So you had this gift, and you see music in color, but I still don't understand how you played a blue note. So you
How I
see.
play blue. Well, the note itself is blue. You know, I just got to play the note, and it just speaks blue.
That correspond though? How does a color correspond to actually playing the music?
Well, every note has its own color for starters. The tonic note of a chord will determine what the color of the chord is, and sort of in that sort of logical sense, that's how the music kind of gets put together in colors.
Okay.
Wow.
Really cool. I see a screen that
Yeah,
says our
someone's saying
picture,
our picture is blurry or they can't see us.
and it may be because of this shirt. So I'm going to let Diane ask the next question, and I'm going to change this shirt.
No, it's not that, babe.
It's not.
No. It's just,
Yeah, it's super grainy on my end.
yeah, it's saying that it's very blurry, but I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, guys, just give us a minute. Is that better?
Not for me. Let me check it out on my phone.
Sorry, guys, give us 2 seconds. We're
Why
just
don't you
trying
turn
to,
that off?
we're trying to figure out.
No,
No,
that didn't
makes
help.
it dark.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, I seem to look okay on it, but you guys
So,
just. Oh, that's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a lot better now.
okay.
Let us know
Good
if it
stuff.
gets bad again. Not
All
sure
right.
what's happening, but
All
anyway,
right.
sorry about that, everybody. We're no good at this stuff.
Okay. You guys are really blurry.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Go ahead, babe. I interrupted.
Somebody said you guys are blurry, the amazing Clemens.
Okay.
You're back. Okay.
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 Okay. Good.
Okay.
I think it's good. Okay.
Sorry about that, William.
All right.
All good.
So you're playing at 4 years old, right? And your father plays the trumpet, and
That's
so
right.
when did it sort of like was the piano your first love?
It was, yeah. And then eventually, I think shortly after I started playing the piano, basically the way I got into the piano, first of all, I saw the cartoon. I would watch the cartoon Oswald growing up, which is about an octopus, a big blue octopus that played the piano and walked his little weenie dog around everywhere.
Right.
And so I saw that octopus, and I begged my mom for about 6 months to let me start playing the piano, and then eventually she got me some lessons. And so shortly after that, I asked my dad if I could start playing the trumpet. And so he said it would be best for me to start the trumpet when I have the 4 front adult teeth in, the top 2 and the bottom 2.
Right.
And so those came in when I was about 6. And so he started me off on the mouthpiece when I was 7. He got me a trumpet for Christmas, so that's when the work on the horn started.
Oh,
Wow.
right. So at 7 years old, you're already into 2 instruments.
There you go. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, that's great.
Now I know coming up in middle school and high school, you love sports. You know, you're a musician, but you love sports as well, and that's how we met. We met
That's right.
in track field. You and our daughter Riley were at a track meet, and you were so well poised. I remember you coming over to my husband and introducing yourself, and we were like, "Who is this kid?" Because he's so well spoken. Who is this kid, right? And I'll never forget that day. But in saying that, football, I think, was a huge love of yours. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. So I started doing like 2-hand touch football back in middle school, like grade 5, grade 6. I would just do that outside with friends. And so when I got to high school, I started playing like real tackle football. And so that was just in grade 9. And we never won any games. Unfortunately,
Okay.
but I had a whole lot of fun.
That's right.
Who needs to
Yeah. Yeah, I played safety and a little bit of running back and receiver. Sometimes they would put me at linebacker. So I really had a whole lot of fun doing that. But my mom made me quit eventually because she didn't want me breaking my fingers because I'm really a musician, just playing football, not a football player playing music. So music kind of took the priority.
Well, I don't know. I saw you play, and if you had stuck with it, I think maybe you could have gone either one.
Well, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, Mom was pretty smart. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, goodness.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
All
I'll
right.
let you go.
So,
Go ahead.
has your this new normal?
Right.
How have you been managing it? Are things a lot different, or have you been able to keep a schedule?
Well, largely I've been pretty okay. I'm pretty much just in terms of staying home and the phases increasing in Ontario. I'm pretty much just largely staying at home. If I'm going out, I'm wearing a mask. But largely I'm just staying home because both of my parents have diabetes, so I wouldn't want to put them at risk. Also for me, with COVID-19, we're still not entirely sure what that's doing to people's lungs. And so a lot of people are getting permanent lung damage, especially if they catch the severe case of the virus. So I wouldn't really want that for myself either.
Yeah.
And yeah, so because that's kind of my lungs are a huge part of my career. Yeah, exactly. It's a wind instrument, not a lip instrument, So the air is it.
Yes.
And so but while I'm at home, I'm pretty much practicing. I'm doing more piano now than I would when I'm at school. So since I'm majoring in trumpet, pretty much at school most of the time I'm practicing and playing trumpet all the time. But now that I'm at home, I get to practice trumpet as much as I normally do and a little bit more, and then I get to go back to the piano as well. So I'm doing that. I'm working out a little bit as well. And so now I just started Juillard is offering us some summer courses to get extra credit. There are credit courses and non-credit courses, so I decided to do a credit course. I might try and take a year off of part of my schooling again. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to do the accelerated master's program, which would get me my bachelor's and my master's within 5 years instead of 6.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Very
so
good.
that's something I'm working on too. And the rest of it is pretty much just hanging with the family. There's more family time since we're all here. And so that's pretty much what it is.
All right. So we were letting the story unveil, and I'm going to let Di ask the next question. But now, as we've been talking, people know not only did you start playing the piano at 4, and you had this wonderful, beautiful talent to see in color, and you started playing the piano at age 7, but they also now know that you are at Juilliard. Yes.
That's right.
So we're just going to continue. There are some surprises that will continue, but we'll let this story continue to unveil.
So, William, what is it like being selected one out of however many students that auditioned for Juilliard? What was that like for you when you got the phone call saying that, hey, you were one of the ones we selected, you're in?
Right. So I was really happy about that. It felt really rewarding when I got the letter in the email. And so I think my mom had seen it first. I was at rehearsal and she called me and told me. I was like, oh, cool, that's great. And I was just happy about it. Not like getting super happy on the outside, but this was actually before the rehearsal that she had called me. I was working with a colleague on some trumpet techniques, and so I got off the phone and she was like, "Who was that?" I was like, "Oh, that was just my mom. She just told me I got into Juilliard," and she's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I gotta like bake you a cake right now. Like you just got in Juilliard. Do you understand?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So, you know, I'm really honored to be there. You know, it's amazing that I get to work with so many, you know, amazing colleagues. And the faculty there are the best of the best. You know, I study with the principal trumpet of the New York Philharmonic, Chris Martin. And not only has he been principal trumpet of the New York Philharmonic, which it's a position he just took in 2016. He was also principal trumpet in the Chicago Symphony for just over a decade. He's principal trumpet in Atlanta, and then before that, he got his first job as associate principal in the Philadelphia Orchestra at the age of 22, straight out of college. So he's got a really good resume. So, you know, best of the best. I also get to work with Ray Mace. He's the chair of brass at Juillard, legendary trumpeter of the American Brass Quintet and the New York City Ballet as well. And so, you know, there's just so many, and obviously the academic teachers, the liberal arts teachers are also incredible at teaching us stuff about life. So I just feel really grateful that I'm in such a good place. It's right in New York, so there's so much happening. Jazz at Lincoln Center is just a few blocks away. And Winter Marsalis is also teaching at Juilliard. He teaches in the jazz division, so every once in a while I'll run into him in the elevator. Sometimes I'll sneak into a couple of his classes that he's teaching, and he'll be cool with it. So yeah, I've just been having a great time, and I'm really grateful and honored to be there.
That's so awesome. Can you tell us maybe a few of your musical, like who are some of your inspirations? Like who do you really love?
Well, my dad would be the first one.
Yes.
All right.
Of course.
Right. And so Winter Marsalis, when I started hearing his recordings and learning about him, the thing about Winton is he's just a really humble guy as well. I got to meet him in Toronto when I was 12. He was just about my former teacher, Chris Shigola. He took me backstage to go meet him because they're friends. And so Winton was just about to leave. He had his coat on and his horn over his shoulder, and my teacher said, "This is the kid I was talking about." And Winton was like, "Oh, cool. Let's go on back to the dressing room." And he gave me about a 20-30 minute lesson.
Wow.
Wow. Right there.
Right. Such a humble guy, and so just wise and intelligent. And he can play the trumpet.
Yes.
You know.
Just a little bit. Right?
Yeah, there you go. So Winton is one of them. I've also loved on the piano Glenn Gould, one of the best pianists of all time. Chris Bodie, really love listening to him.
Oh, I love
obviously, my teacher Chris Martin, the former principal trumpet of the New York Philharmonic, Phil Smith, and they're.
Oh, I think we lost you for a minute.
Just frozen.
He'll come back in a second.
Yeah, stay with us.
Technical difficulties.
Think a little Wi-Fi challenge. It'll come back.
But how amazing is that to meet Mr. Marsalis at 12 years old?
Right on the spot. Yes.
That's pretty phenomenal. So we lost William for a minute. He'll come back in a minute. But if you guys have any questions for Mr. Leathers that you'd like for us to ask him, please type it in so we can ask whatever you'd like to ask him in the process.
Yes,
How about that?
yes. An extraordinary young man. Got into Juilliard, and then in his absence, he did a GoFundMe campaign to help to pay for school. It's $90,000. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yes, there we go. I think he's coming back with us. Let's see.
All right.
Okay, good. We're connecting.
There we go.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right. Good.
These things happen, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Did we lose connection or something, or
We did.
We did.
Okay.
But that's
yes,
okay.
Yes. So back now, and you mentioned that you didn't jump up and down when you heard you got into Juilliard. can I ask, did you expect to get into Juilliard?
Uh, I pretty much did because I was really prepared to do the audition, and I felt I did it really well. So so
Yes,
you know
that's what I love.
I kind of felt like I
You practice until you couldn't
I
no
really
longer.
did I really played really well in the audition. So I thought it's really likely to happen. So
That's
So,
I
and
love.
yeah.
it's like 2,000 people auditioned in the beginning, right? Is that right, or is it
Yeah, it's somewhere around that number for the pre-screening round, and then they shave
did
down the number.
stay down?
Yeah, to for the live auditions,
Right.
Wow.
and so
So yes,
there's still a lot of trumpet players doing the live auditions and whatnot, and so they picked that year they picked 3 undergrads and 2 grad students.
okay.
Yeah,
So started globally with 2,000, and then a select number had got a chance to come and audition at the school, and you were one of those, and eventually one of the five that were brought into the school that year, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Amazing, amazing. I love the story. I love telling the story. I love your commitment to excellence. Can you talk to people about sort of an average day? What do you do? How long do you practice in an average day?
Well, so at Juilliard, there's a couple different kinds of days. There's the kind of day where you have orchestra in the morning, and then you might have a class or two after that, and the rest of the day is pretty much just practicing and doing homework and a little bit of free time if you have it. Other days can be a whole bunch of classes starting in the morning into the afternoon, and those classes will include theory, ear training, and liberal arts classes like there's writing seminar, and then you get into ethics and philosophy and all of that. And so there are different history classes too. And so you can also take different types of theory, like there's jazz theory as well. And so there's those types of days as well. And then you have your private lesson. You pretty much just figure that out with your teacher. So basically, those are the things that are kind of laid out on the schedule, and
Mm-hmm.
then I just pretty much get when I'm at school, especially if I'm in an orchestra cycle, I do practice a little bit less. I try to be a little bit more efficient in my time, try to get more done in a smaller amount of time, so I can stay healthy. Because the more you practice, like the more you practice on tired muscles,
Right.
that's when you're risking injury. So that's my dad always told me rest as much as you play, and that really lowers your odds of getting an injury or something like that. You
Mhm.
Wow.
know, the the uh, the the most common thing to do is when you're playing, you like really like smash the horn to your face when you're playing high notes, and that can really hurt you. And that's something that's really easy to do when you're getting tired. But
Right.
on the weekend, I'll practice as much as I want, pretty much. And so just like on uh, on orchestra days, especially before the orchestra rehearsal, I wouldn't be practicing as much, especially if I'm playing principal trumpet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yes, yes.
That's so impressive. If I could go backwards for a second, can you
Right.
can you tell us? We were talking earlier about the special gifting that you have with synesthesia. How many people in the world has this gift other than you? And can you maybe
Uh,
you for
it's
it?
pretty rare. I'd have to Google it, but it's how many people in
Like a
the world?
handful.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
A handful. We're
I just
talking a
want
handful out
everyone
of
to
the
know
world
how
population.
special you are. And in that handful, I believe it's Stevie Wonder. Um,
Mozart had it. Kanye West has it.
yeah.
Um,
Is it Pharrell?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. I was gonna ask who sings the song "Happy." I
yeah,
forgot his
Pharrell.
Someone here said 3%, like my green eyes.
name.
Wow, that's pretty special.
Mm.
That must be pretty special.
Mm.
Yeah. There are a bunch of people at Juilliard that have it as well.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a number of colleagues who have it as well,
Hmm.
and some people in there were a couple people in youth orchestra I knew growing up that also had it. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, I was so impressed when we met. I guess we hadn't first met. We knew each other then, but you were telling me about your day and how during the off season, you're practicing 8 hours a day sometimes, right?
pretty much. Yeah.
And and that's what you do in the off season, and
Mm,
so to see that and to understand that this is what excellence looks like. Excellence puts its time in. Excellence works at it. And so when you said I expected to get into it was my assumption that you did expect so, and you expected it because of the level of rigor and time that you put in, and not just time, but excellence. It wasn't just, you put time in, you
mm.
put the best time in, right? Mhm.
That's right. Yeah, I really did my best to put a lot of thought into my practice um, when I was growing up from the age of 12 and up. There were a couple of occasions where I got to go backstage after Jazz and Lincoln Center Orchestra concerts in Toronto and see Wynton again and talk to him. And so when I was 60 and I got to talk to him again, and he told me to use my intelligence to carve my own way in life. And so that really spoke to me a lot, even in terms of practicing. Because if you practice for a long time and you really work hard, you also really need to really think about what you're doing, making sure you're doing intelligent things that are going to help you. And the more you do that, the better your thinking skills get, and the better of an artist and a human being you become.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great advice. That is.
Yes.
Do you have a dream goal as a performer? Like, what would be your dream goal?
I definitely want to be a principal trumpet in one of the big orchestras in
Now,
the
can you
in
tell
the
everybody what it means to be a principal trumpet?
so that's that would be first trumpet in an orchestra, in a symphony orchestra. So some of the big orchestras would be in New York, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, LA. So Cleveland as well. Cleveland has a really good orchestra known for their very in-tune string section. And so orchestras like that, and the first trumpet the first trumpet position is a really important position in the orchestra. When a major orchestra gets a new principal trumpet, especially if the last guy was there for like 20, 30 years, it can really change the sound of the orchestra. And first trumpet players are also required to be very good leaders, both in the brass section. You're basically the highest voice in the brass section, so you lead the brass
Mm-hmm.
section that way. So with that type of responsibility also comes, having to be responsible as a character, as a person.
Right.
So the a principal trumpet and a couple other principal instruments can really push the culture of the orchestra forward. So it's basically first trumpet, but then there's a whole lot to go with that. And in addition to being a principal trumpet in a big orchestra, I'd also like to be a soloist, both with classical music and other genres of music that I can explore, so I can kind of branch off artistically.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever else in music, I'd still like to keep playing the piano, and I still am. And so whatever else I can do in music that kind of adds into my artistry and makes me happy and makes other people happy. That's pretty much my goal for my music career.
That's awesome.
amazing.
Is there an instrument that you don't play that you would like to learn how to play?
Um, there's a whole a lot of the wind instruments really interest me, and I've kind of thought about trying some of them, like I've tried playing the trombone a little bit. Sometimes I ask colleagues at school, can I just play your horn for a second? And so I try the sometimes trombone and tuba. And since I'm a trumpet player, I have a lot of trouble getting into the low register.
Right.
And also the mouthpiece is way bigger than on the trumpet, and French horn as well. I like to just mess around with the French horn, and so there's a whole lot. And also there was one time I could play a 1 octave C major scale on a clarinet. So, and I just like kind of played it for like a couple weeks or so. And so there's a number of different instruments that I'd like to try and see if I can learn just for the fun of it. But that'll probably come like really late or towards the end of my career, so I can focus on, being the best trumpet player and also additionally the best musician I can be.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
Is there a different feeling you get, William, when you play with your dad than when you play with other colleagues?
I think so, yeah, because my dad is the one who first started me out, and he kind of taught me the basics from the beginning on the trumpet. And so we don't get to do performances too often because, in normal circumstances, he's usually doing his gigs, and I'm practicing and doing my stuff. And so now that I'm away at school, it happens even less. So when we do it, it's really something special. Whenever we do that together, it always reminds me where I came from.
That's awesome. I remember Mike and I came to one of your shows that your dad played with you, the two of you, and your dad is phenomenal. Like, I understand clearly where you get your talent from, because your dad is phenomenal, and he is a performer on the stage. I enjoy just watching him, watching his energy.
He can still dance way better than me.
Oh man, I'm telling you, he was just superb. It was a great show, and just watching the two of you together, it was special. It really was. You could see the camaraderie, you could see the love, you could see the energy, you could just feel everything that was on the stage. We felt it sitting in the audience.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always a whole lot of fun when we play together.
Yeah, it was a fun show. It was a fun show.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, we got a chance to come see you play.
Right.
And, so you've had a little bit of practice at this principal trumpet concept a little bit. So let's talk about your first 2 years. Can you explain sort of your first 2 years at Juillard and what has transpired? And then I'd like to get to the very special presentation that you got recognized.
You there? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, cool. I forgot first 2 years, right? So basically, when I went in, I kind of had I had some of my own artistic ideas in my head and certain concepts in terms of techniques playing the trumpet and whatnot. And just going to New York alone was really inspiring to me. There was so much happening in terms of music and art and stuff like that. And Juilliard is a school where there's music and drama and dance. So there's all types of arts going on there. And so and people also have different hobbies outside of their major and whatnot sometimes. And so I was kind of really inspired by that to even more, to just really become a well-rounded artist. And the first few lessons studying with Chris Martin, I finally started to understand how to really play classical trumpet. You know, he's improved my articulation on the trumpet, the start of my notes drastically, and so I've also gotten to play in the Juilliard Orchestra. Me and a few colleagues have started a brass quintet called Brass 22 because we all graduate in 2022.
All right.
And so, right, so there's and so there in terms of and also there have been a number of master classes as well. A fellow Canadian, Jens Lindemann, he came to he's a very good classical trumpet player, and so he came in my freshman year and I got to play for him. He's one of the just found this out recently. Jens and I are two of the four Canadian trumpet players to ever attend Juilliard.
Say that again?
So there are only four Canadian trumpet players who have ever attended Juilliard.
Wow.
Four of them are so the first one is Fred Mills, legendary trumpet player of the Canadian Brass. The second one is Neil Baum. He's still co-principal trumpet in the New York City Ballet. The third one was Jens Lindemann, you know, legendary Canadian trumpet soloist. And he was also in the Canadian Brass, and now I'm there, so I got some big shoes.
And yourself, wow! Look at you. That's awesome.
Yeah, there have been many Canadian trumpet players accepted to Juilliard, but unfortunately, we're the only four to actually attend, which is why I'm so grateful. For my first 2 years, I almost couldn't really go to Juilliard because I couldn't afford it. I think that's the number one thing that affects a lot of people, Canadians and beyond. And so a lot of people, a family friend of mine, Andre Demise, he set up a GoFundMe for me, and a lot of Canadians donated to that, so I was able to get through my first 2 years on that, and so that I'll always be really grateful for, and moving forward, I really want to help more Canadians go to their dream schools, especially if they're in the arts. I think there need to be a lot more than four Canadian trumpet players going to Juilliard moving forward.
Yeah. And it's pretty expensive to go to Juilliard, right?
It really is, yeah.
It's including board, it's about $90,000 a year, right? Canadian.
That's right, yeah, all together.
And that's American.
No, that's,
yeah.
Is that Canadian or American?
That's Canadian.
Canadian, okay.
Dollars, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. In saying that, you've talked a lot about it, but specifically, you've done pretty well at Juilliard, and are you allowed to talk about that, or you're not supposed to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I can talk about that.
Okay. So you say your dream is to be, you know, the principal chair, and you've each of your first 2 years now, you've won first chair. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So
and that's with all the students, not just the students in your freshman and sophomore classes, right?
Yeah. So that's the entire trumpet studio. I've gotten a few principal chairs in different some concerts with big repertoire. So some of them were there was Copland's Third Symphony that was in the first semester of my sophomore year, and just this past semester, the last concert of the Juilliard Orchestra season, and the reason why it was the last concert was because of the pandemic. That was the Mahler's Fifth Symphony at Carnegie Hall, which you guys came to see.
Yes, we drove down to see.
You guys drove down there.
We drove, yes.
I'll always be grateful for that. You guys really
You
drove
know
down
we're
to see
fans
play.
if we drove to New York.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome. That was a great experience for us.
Yes. So impressed. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So, William, what is next on your to-do list other than being principal chair? Do you have any other, goals set for yourself?
Pretty much my goals are to keep getting better at music. I talked to you, Pinball. I talked to you a couple weeks ago, and we talked about me paying it forward after getting through my first 2 years. So and you agreed to help me out with starting a scholarship and stuff like that to help out other people. And so that's part of what's next. And going back to me, I'm also going to be doing different professional auditions when the pandemic is over to lead towards getting to the principal trumpet chair,
Nice.
in that big orchestra.
That's awesome.
All
And you
right.
just want
Right.
right?
Sorry?
You just want a scholarship as well.
That's
Not
right.
not just
And
a scholarship.
right. Can you tell everybody about this phenomenal scholarship that you just won?
Yeah, for sure. So on June 3rd, I got an email from the Kovner board at Juillard, and so they had notified me in a letter that they sent an email that I had been awarded with the Kovner Fellowship, which covers all the tuition and pretty much any fee it takes to go to Juilliard, including room and board and books and all of that. So they
Yeah.
told me that. And when I heard the news, I had just gotten out of the shower, so this is the first time anyone's ever seen a reaction or anything. I ran out of the bathroom with just a towel in front of me, and I told everyone in the house, I got the Kovner.
That's awesome. That's awesome,
All
man.
right.
Congratulations, William. You so deserve everything that's coming your way, man.
Mhm.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You put your time in.
Right.
Thanks.
And that doesn't just go to a trumpet player. That goes to one musician, right?
Well, that goes to it's a Kovner Fellowship, so it's
yeah.
ordered to classical musicians only at
Okay.
Juilliard, and it I believe there's 54 Kovner scholarships given held at once.
Okay.
So not every year, but held at once. So
Right.
there are students at Juilliard who currently have one, and so there are some new members to the gang like me.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe the number is 54. There are 54 at a time.
All right. That's amazing. That's amazing.
That is pretty
Wow.
special.
Wow.
That is pretty special.
Good.
I always, whenever I'm doing some things now, and I always remind myself of what we were talking about earlier when you said, I practice until I can't get it wrong. Like, I wish that every young person, not just young person, but even us as adults, if we could really understand that and just grab a hold of that. Because when you said that to us that day, man, that thing stuck with me so heavy. And I remember it. I say it almost every day. I practice until I can't get it wrong, because that is pretty special.
Thank you. Yeah.
Pretty special.
Yeah. I really feel like that can be inspiring to everyone. One of the I mentioned earlier that sometimes I like to sneak into Winter Marsalis's classes that he's teaching, and so I snuck into his creative ideas classes that's just taught to the jazz majors. And Winton was teaching that day, and so one of the things he said is leaders do the work that others won't. That's a rough quotation, but it was
Right.
basically something like that, and that really spoke to me, and all the stories that we've ever heard about that. There's a video somewhere that came out a few years ago about Jay Williams talking about Kobe getting to the gym before him,
Yes.
stuff like that. So leaders always do the work that others won't. That's the Mamba mentality. That's what all the great leaders in all industries like Winton say, and There's been my own mother has given me a whole lot of inspirational advice over the years. She's basically been my source of motivation, and so I actually have a list she wrote out a list for me of goal setting phrases before I went off to Juilliard. So I don't know if you guys want to hear any of that.
That would be awesome.
Right. All right, here we go. We got it here. Cool. There we go. The key to living life on a new level is goal setting. Goal setting is what separates successful people from unsuccessful people. If you do not know where you are heading, you will just wander around aimlessly, living a life of mediocrity. People with goals succeed because they know where they are going. Ask yourself what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Focus on your goal. Don't look in any other direction. Set daily, monthly, and long-term goals and dreams. Don't ever be afraid to dream too big. Nothing is impossible if you believe in yourself. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Set your goals, make the plans, get to work, stick with it, reach your goals. The tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Goals help you stay focused on wherever you want to go in life. Don't be like the majority of people who have no goals for their life. Write down your goals and believe in yourself and take daily consistent action because there are no limits to what you can achieve once you get truly focused on success.
I love it.
So,
I knew I loved your mom.
Yes. So dad is your mentor and mom is your inspiration.
That's right.
Yes, that's amazing. Now, William, is there is there a song on the radio that comes when it comes on the radio and says, "That's my jam"? Like, do you have a song, or is it a different genre of music that does that for you?
There's all sorts. Jazz, when something is jazz and I recognize it, and it comes on the radio.
Is there one you can tell us about?
Let's see. Joy Spring by Clifford Brown would probably be one. That's I think that's one of the best jazz standards of all time. The changes are really beautiful, and there's a nice tune on top. And Clifford's also got one of the best solos of all time on that record.
Okay.
And so, in terms of, I also like to listen to a lot of reggae, and so Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff. What's that? There's a really young girl. She's really been popping lately. I forgot her name. Coffee, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I really like her music too.
All right. Yeah. Very good.
So we have 3 minutes left before.
Right. Okay.
A little bit longer than that. So we've got a few minutes.
Few minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, you go.
No. Yeah. We're just gonna ask.
There's a Canadian there.
Yes.
No, you go, honey. You go.
Oh, very good. Would you mind taking us out? Do you mind playing a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. Would you play us out?
Yeah.
All right.
We just want to, before you start that, William, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for speaking into our young people, into our youth, because they can learn so much from you. You're wise beyond your years.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate you taking the time today to just spend some time and just telling us what's happening and what's new in your life.
Big virtual hug. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful that when he won the scholarship, he gave me a call. It's one of the first people he called, and he actually said at that point he wanted to begin to make a way for others to have the same opportunity he does. So we're so proud of you. And would you play us out?
Play us out.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. It's an honor to be here as always. Love hanging out with you guys.
All
You're
right,
awesome.
thank you.
This is one of my favorite tunes that I was just talking about, Joy Spring.
Okay. That's awesome.
Oh, thank,
That was phenomenal.
thank you so very much. You are a constant inspiration to one and all, and we're just so grateful for you. Okay.
Thank you. Grateful for you guys too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Give our love to mom and dad.
yes.
All right, we'll do.
Tell them we said hello and to stay well.
And they're equally amazing. Yes.
For sure, we'll do that.
All
All
right.
right, and thank you everyone for tuning in to the new normal, and we will see everyone next week,
All
6
right.
p.m.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much for joining, and woo, have a great week between now and then. And wow, what a guest, a true star. He is a real star, not just because of his talent, but because of his heart. He just wants to make such an impact on the world, both with his music as well as helping others. And so we're just extremely proud. And William, are you 18 or 19? Did you turn 19? You turned 19, right?
Yeah, I turned 19.
Okay, very
19.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, excellent, excellent. Very good.
Wise beyond your years.
Wow.
Okay, take care, my friend, okay?
All right, you too. Thanks for having me.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Yes.